Right, let's move straight to our fourth and final conversation. Now, the statements credited to the late American author and theologian James Freeman Clark that, I quote, "A politician thinks of the next election. A statesman thinks of the next generation," end of quote, is instructive for us as a country at this moment. President Bola Tinubu has issued an order to his supporters and groups championing a campaign for his re-election in 2027 to desist forthwith. In a statement by his special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the president expressed concern over a growing number of billboards and other campaign materials surfacing in key cities, including Abuja and Kano, projecting Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima for the next presidential race. He said no such re-election move has been authorized by the president, as it constitutes a breach of the Electoral Act. Your thoughts on this one? Because I don't know. Why would you do that? We still have 2 more years to 2027.
Some people have no role in government. And the only way they will remain relevant is when the campaign starts. And they just want it to start. It's not peculiar to the federal level. I know even in states, questions are being asked, when are we starting? Because I've spoken to 1 or 2 people, and they told me nothing like this is happening, especially in the presidency. I spoke to Tokwe Ajayi, and I said nothing. These people are just filling the waters, basically. And that's the point I was trying to make. Some people, their entire life surrounds campaign. That's all they know. That's all they do. So they've been like fish out of water in the last 3 years.
Like, let's
start printing t-shirts. Let's start doing signboards and all that.
But what impact do you think this
it's against the law.
The
presidency was right. It's against the law. Let's give the president and governors enough time to rule, to govern.
Exactly.
At least 3 years and 2 months. I think the law says 12 months before the election.
Yes.
I think that's what we need to do. I know politics they will go underground. That one is clear. But this one is basically to force the hand of the party, force the hand of the president. And say, we are here.
Exactly.
But do you think this is overzealousness on the part of the supporters? Even though they have good...
I want to talk from my experience as a political journalist. You know, I'm not very good with homiletics and the theory part of politics. The media is not immune from this blame.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A good number of media have even started talking about 2027. They've started talking about campaigns. They've even started, breaching this Electoral Act. Definitely TVC is not inclusive. But just to let you know that even when you're not discussing, somebody is telling you you're behind. So who's fooling who? So it's not just the posters that is speaking. The media also needs to direct the conversation. That it is not yet time. The Electoral Act does not permit you to talk about this. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we need to also shape the conversation.
I guess this is where the NBC needs to come in.
Exactly.
To actually talk
so
to
let's quickly
media houses.
Control the conversation. Politicians will be politicians. Politicians, some of them, their life depends on who becomes the governor and the president.
Who becomes the president, exactly.
Who is retained as the president. They're not taking time. That's why the likes of El-Rufai will say, I don't have to wait before campaign starts, before I cry out, that I've been hedged out. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's to let you know that as far as they are concerned, even went as far as, accusing the NSC that he wants to take over in 2031. What is worse than that in terms of posters flooding the place? But the president has done the right thing by speaking to this issue. And to a large extent is a way of saying, excuse me, we do not authorize this. So it was worth it that they distanced themselves from this unlawful act.
But it goes against the Electoral
So like
Act.
you said, the reality is politicians will talk. They will have meetings. They will discuss. In fact, let me tell you the practical part of it as a student union person. One of the ways to get someone to support you is the first come, first serve. Who told me first? So you're waiting for 2026, Abi? They will not support you. Because maybe we don't have deep pockets.
The us will have voted.
Exactly. So to a large extent, trust me, as some were getting inaugurated in 2023, they started planning for 2027. But the law says keep it under wraps. You cannot come in the public.
He talked about that some media houses are guilty of this, but is it too early? Yes, the presidency, have condemned these people, but is it too early to start talking 2026?
No. It's too early for formal campaign.
Okay, the informal.
The law is very clear.
But the informal part is not too early.
Talking over a bottle of beer is politics. So you can't stop that. But formal campaign, where structures are in place, and then you now pay newspaper houses or TV houses, campaign materials, jingles, and things to do. That's the one. But to discuss it, to infer, to look, to create enemies where there are none, will go on every day. But the law is very clear.
Do you think INEC should have a meeting with political parties?
No, this again.
To talk to their supporters that, hey,
look, this is normal.
You are going in breach of the electoral act.
Don't forget, 4 years ago, people printed posters of somebody who was still in prison. That's going to be the next governor. That's the way it works. People are just feeling the waters, trying very hard to see where the wind will blow. Because sometimes, even by denying, you are not denying.
Oh.
Yeah, even that's what we call the...
Even by denying, you're not denying.
There's a difference between no and it's not right. It's not right, it's not a no. It's not that it's illegal.
Okay.
This is illegal, we can't do this now. But he knows in his mind that, okay, this is going to happen. But he says, we can't do it now, fine, we'll wait. But he has already sent the feelers out. I am contesting.
Okay.
I'm not going anywhere. Of course, he will pull back.
But the governor of Benue said, I have 6 more years to go. Yeah. What does that mean?
He has already made up his mind.
That's
already a campaign. Exactly. So it's just to let you know, like you said, the NBC is clear on what is prohibited, But, talking about the fact that, hey, I can't finish in 4 years. It's a sort of campaign.
Exactly. But just like what I asked, I said, do you think the INEC should talk to political parties? Because they represent a political party. So that you should tell them that not yet.
They know.
So that they don't
they have the time. They trust me.
They have legal advisors now.
They know the rules.
They know. It's not new. It's like asking a child when it's time for dinner. He or she knows. Time to eat. You don't need a law to say that. They know it's not right. But like I said,
maybe just to remind them of the laws.
No, it's not to remind. It's basically to let them know. Because sometimes, like he said, they will say, this man is not showing interest. Let me put my hat in the ring.
Okay.
Maybe the man is showing, but the body language is not saying he's coming back. This is what he will do. People will send out the posters. He will deny. But the message has been sent to the opponents.
Okay.
That the man is not good.
That the man is not good. I think it's a fine place for us to leave it. Thank you so much, GKB. Appreciate you.
I want to apologize to our viewers for coming late. I've not come late in 10 years.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. Okay. And also, Kaidila Dende.
Always a pleasure.
Always. Thank you so much for doing this. And